What's going on? What's going on, guys? Byron here from ETA Kitchen. So check this out. We've got 1/4 kilo of local green chilies. They're very similar to like a Thai chili. A little bit hot, but not a lasting heat. Really nice flavor. I've got 7 cloves of garlic. I've got half of a red onion. I've got 225 grams of jalapenos. Notice I did not take any of the seeds out because I want this to be a hot sauce. And then I've added right around 200 grams of pardon peppers. Now pardon peppers, it's a Spanish pepper. It is not hot at all. In fact, it's similar to a bell pepper. Okay? So it's similar in heat level to a bell pepper or a capsicum, whatever you would like to call it. So altogether, this is 500 grams, which is 1 pound, 1.9 ounces, give or take. I'm gonna go back to grams. It's easier. But basically this is a pound of peppers with some garlic and some onions. That's it. We're gonna do our same thing. We're gonna make our 2.5% solution. Be right back. Alrighty, so we're gonna add 500 grams by weight of room temperature filtered water. I happen to be getting it out of my handy dandy water dispenser right now. So if you notice, I didn't show you guys the whole chopping process. I figured you guys have watched the other fermentation videos, so should be somewhat self-explanatory at this point. We're at 472 grams. So we're just going to add a little bit more water. And for the non-metrically inclined people, this is, for every 500 grams, it's approximately a pound. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, give or take a little bit. So we have 506 grams, that's good enough. To this, we are going to add 12.25 grams of salt. I'm sorry, 12.5. 12.5 grams of salt, of which I'm gonna just use handy dandy Himalayan pink salt. Nothing fancy. It's not because I believe there's any weird nutritional value to it. It's non-iodized, which means it will ferment, and judging by my other fermentations, it's been a good choice. So we're going to bring that up. All right, so there's 515, so we went from 505 to 515. So there's 10 grams, we just need 2 more grams. And we're not there yet. There we are. So now we have our 2.5 gram solution. Or I'm sorry, 12.5 grams of salt, which is a 2.5% brine solution. Now, I don't have any of the cool airlock lids to use with this, so I'm going to show you guys how to do this at home with nothing special at all. And when I say nothing special at all, I mean literally. You just need the jar. That's it. If you got a jar, you can do this. The only special tool, and it's not really all that special of a tool, for being honest. And normally I lay out all my stuff before the videos, you know, all that cool stuff, and I didn't on this one. So we have this glass weight. So peppers are going to float, and you're going to want something to help keep the peppers down, because you got to keep them down, man. All right. Swishy, 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 swishy. I want to make sure all that salt gets dissolved. I'm going to grab my silicone spatula. This way it's a little bit quieter. Stirring the salt water, man. Stirring the salt water, man. All right, cool. So here we go. We don't really have to weigh it. I'm just choosing to weigh it. And in case you guys are wondering, this glass weight is 172 grams. So, cool. That's, I guess, good information to know somewhere. So now, you're going to fill it up. And you're just going to tap it. Let all the air bubbles come up. Remember, we don't want any air bubbles. Now, because we're not using these cool handy-dandy locks over here, which, by the way, I ordered 6 more of another style that we're going to try those. That way I'm going to have a total of 10 jars to be able to ferment. This big jar over here that you see, I'm going to use this for the sauerkraut, and then I'm going to use another one for kimchi. As you can see, we're going to be doing a lot of pickles, man. And that's good, because I don't know about you guys, but I love me some pickles. So, you're going to want to leave about an inch of headroom, okay? Headroom is the room at the top. You've got gas that's going to be expanding. The vegetables, as they begin to ferment, they're going to start expanding. Stuff is going to move, man. Like if you look at these over here, check this out. This is Pandar's Revenge. Now, Pandar's Revenge started over here, and now it's up to here. Yeah. Let me frame that a little better. Sorry, guys. I'll frame that a little better. So Pandar's Revenge, if you guys remember, started right about here, and it's up higher now. That's just the nature of the beast. And that's why we're going to leave about an inch of room. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get all of these vegetables that are floating around the top under the brine using this method. So, to prevent any future tragedies, what we're going to do is scrape off the floaters. We're just going to scrape these bad boys off. Pour one out for the homies. My poor floaters. Alright, so I'm pressing the weight down just a little bit further. Got a few more floaters. Not much I can do about that. You know what I could try? I've got 2 of these weights. So I'm going to try and see let's see what happens if I move one weight to one side. And I grab my second weight. These have both been actually sterilized earlier, believe it or not. So I'm going to just do that. And that's a little better, I guess. That's a better seal. So now we're really shoving those peppers down in there. And because we don't have a cool gas lock, we've got to tap this pretty good. Make sure there's no trapped air in there. And you can do that when you put it in the jar by just making sure you can press everything really good. Okay, so we don't have any more air bubbles coming up. That's cool, that's awesome, that's what we want to see. We're going to grab the lid. We're just going to put the lid on. We're just going to screw it down until it makes contact, and we just want it a little loose, just like that. Because as this goes, I'm going to show you, I already removed all of the CO2 from this one earlier today, a couple hours ago in fact. And I'm going to go ahead and pump it again just to show you guys. Hopefully you can see this. This is really hard to do one-handed, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for you guys. See those bubbles coming up? That's CO2 from the fermentation, and whew, that smells awesome. That's the smell of life. That's the smell of love. That's the smell of some fermentation. So I bought 2 of these jars this size because all of these cucumbers plus these cucumbers are gonna go into one of these. And tomorrow, hopefully, if the store is open, I'm gonna go get the kimchi paste, and I'm gonna do however many pickles will fill this jar with as pickles. I'm gonna do some spears, I'm gonna do some chips, I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. But we're gonna have it floating in here. It's just gonna be a garlic, ginger, and dill pickle. A little bit of rosemary just to round out that beautiful flavor profile. And in the second one of these, whatever cucumbers are left that aren't gonna fit in here, we're gonna make cucumber kimchi, which is, if you guys remember, Mr. Panda, Mr. Llama, that was one of the foods that you guys would destroy every time we went to a Korean restaurant. You guys would destroy the cucumber kimchi. So we're gonna make some more of that. It may not be something that you necessarily remember loving, but you guys used to love the heck out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, and I'm just gonna give you a quick ferment update. So this is the chili dilly beans, and they are rocking now. And they are really going now. And when I say going, I mean there are like, look at all those bubbles. Look at all those bubbles. That's a good sign. That's a healthy ferment, guys. That means it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And more importantly, we're probably not going to get sick. All right, so that's the llama guts. And here we got our chili pickles. And that is really starting to bubble and take on a life of its own. You can see that there. There you go. See the ferment bubbles just going like crazy? That's a good thing. It's what we want to see. Now, this is the angry German cabbage that I started yesterday, and I apologize, I still haven't got the video posted. I'm going to try to rectify that tonight. But this is the angry German cabbage, which is sauerkraut with mustard and black pepper and garlic. So it's rocking, it's doing its thing. We're gonna vent the pressure real quick. Just pop the lid off, give it a second or two, put it back, just light contact. There you go. You just want it a little bit loose. And you always have to remember when you're handling these jars that the lids are loose. So if you're not careful, you can end up spilling a whole bunch of that beautiful brine out, and you're gonna make a big mess, and we don't want you to do that. We want you guys to keep a nice clean kitchen, so that when you guys are over here with me, we're gonna be able to make our own videos, and then everybody else in the YouTube is gonna be able to see you guys while we make some awesome content. Anyway, this is Byron. You guys have a wonderful day.